EVA, but still not super successful EVA, where Gene Cernan nearly died. There's a lot of nearly pretty sketchy things on Gemini. Gemini 10 started working out a lot of problems. Honestly, the details of that mission are escaping me right now. Gemini 11 was an altitude record at, I think, 850 miles away from the planet, with Pete Conrad back there, and Dick Gordon, and then the last mission of the program, Jim Lovell and Buzz Aldrin on Gemini 12 put all the things together, did successful EVAs, station keeping, all kinds of maneuverability, really learned how to fly in space. And then, of course, as we know, the Apollo program, when we get the little pieces, my Apollo model, oh man, this thing has been in my purse for about 4 years now. No, that's such a lie. Like 8 years now. This leg is upside down. It's the one that I schlep around the country and actually the world with me. So it's in kind of bad shape. But as we know, Apollo, here we go. Okay. Nailed it. So as you know, the Apollo program, of course, did very much the same for lunar space exploration as Gemini did for basic space flight, I want to say. That's the first time I've ever tried to make that analogy. I think it kind of works. So every Apollo mission took NASA a step further towards the moon, especially like the early Apollo missions, I actually think are way more fascinating in a lot of ways. After the Apollo 1 fired, Apollo 7 was the first to really test the new spacecraft just in Earth orbit, again, the same shakedown cruise. It was successful. Apollo 8 went all the way to the moon with, no lunar module. Apollo 9 tested all the pieces in Earth orbit. Apollo 10 went through the entire dress rehearsal so that when Apollo 11 launched, it had a chance to land and did so. And did it at a time where if it had failed, NASA would still have a chance in November with Apollo 12 to make that landing. And of course, Apollo 12 was a second successful landing. And then every Apollo mission after that added more. There was, increased surface stays. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were there for a day, but I think their EVA was only about 2.5 hours. By the time 17 left, I forget how many hours. I think they had something like 21 hours on the surface, and 3 days on the moon. So significantly more time spent doing science, more instruments. They had the lunar rover on the last 3 missions to really increase the astronauts' ability to move around. Every mission on Apollo was solving some unknown, and I would extend that to Skylab, which I do not have a model of Skylab. Skylab being the program that took a disused S-4B upper stage, turned it into a laboratory on Earth, and then launched it on the last Saturn V ever to launch, and then had 3 Apollo missions, fly up and stay on board for as much as 84 days for the 3rd and final Skylab mission. And then Apollo